We're now going to study how the graph of a function and its inverse relate to each other. Remember, if x comma y is a function, then the inverse will be y comma x. What this means is that if x comma y is a point on the graph of a function, then y comma x will be a point on the graph of the inverse. So let's go ahead and take a function in which the points -2 comma -1, -1 comma 0, and 2 comma 1 are on the graph of the function. We're going to graph the inverse function. Well, remember, what this point means is that if I substitute into the function 2, I get as output 1. So the inverse will take the input of 1 and spit out 2, which means that the point 1 comma 2 is on the graph of the inverse. Here I input -1, get as output 0. Therefore, in the inverse, I input 0 and get out -1. So the point 0 comma -1 is on the inverse. Finally, over here, if I input -2, I get as output -1. Therefore, in the inverse, I input -1 and get as output -2, and I have the point -1 comma -2 on the graph. If I connect these points, I obtain the graph of the inverse. So in blue, I have the function, and in the purple color, I have the inverse. What we should notice about the relation between these two graphs is that they are symmetric about the line y equals x. In other words, if I took the graph in blue of the function and reflected it about the line y equals x, I would get the graph of the inverse function.